Hey folks, welcome back to another episode of Tiny Swarm Tuesday here at the Jerome Bee Farm and Homestead. Last week we added a quart feeder versus the pint, and we also added a couple of drawn out frames that came out of the freezer from a failed hive earlier in the year. So today we're going to go in the Tiny Swarm hive. First we'll do an entrance check and see what they look like, then we'll go in and check the feeder, see how much they've consumed, and then see if the queen is laying on those new frames I put in there that were drawn out from another hive. So let's get started on Tiny Swarm. Okay, first thing we do here is a quick little entrance check. I did see one bee fly in there just a second ago, but most of the bees flying in this area are from the hives to the left and to the right of it. There's one. Choom, there he goes. Okay. One out, one in. Two in. Okay. Let's pop the top and see what we got going on here. Okay, let's get the lid off of here. See what we got going on. Okay, that's how much syrup they've consumed in a week's time. So I'd say about 1/3 of a quart. So we won't bother refilling this. We'll just set it aside and put it back on when we're done. A couple there drinking. I'm not going to smoke them because there's not enough bees in here and they're not being aggressive at all. So look on the lid here real quick for the queen. Also look for any hive beetle smashing opportunities. Not one hive beetle. And no queen. So it looks like we got bee population between both beetle traps, but it's not heavy. It's heaviest on this frame right here. That's the original brood frame, I believe. I think the two new frames are right here. So last time we kind of split this brood chamber up and spread it out, and that's why you don't see a heavy concentration of bees, I'm guessing. Oh, beetle got away. Did you see that? On these beetle traps, before you pull them up, good thing to do is take your hive tool, turn it over, and push down and run it down it. So if there's beetle hiding underneath it, you smash him. I should have done that because that one just took off. And this hive, being not a strong hive, is susceptible to beetles because they'll hide in these frames out on the side, like that one right there. Get him. No more beetle. Nothing on there. This is totally empty comb here. Scrape some of that propolis off of there. Got 17 written on this frame here because that was a 2017 frame when I put it in. So after 4 or 5 years, I'll change these out. So this is mainly honey right here capped and a little bit of nectar below it. Same thing on this side. It's capped honey at the top and with nectar below it. So that'll be a good resource for them come winter. This is mostly uncapped nectar on here. And this side's completely empty. So they still don't have enough population to really get things going. We need that tiny swarm queen to get laying, which she has been, just not much. So there's a lot of uncapped nectar in here they're putting in here, and it's probably mostly sugar water from the jar. I think this next frame is our queen frame, where she'd been hanging out most of the time. We've got us a brood pattern on here. Looks pretty good. And the queen's right there in the middle. There she is. So see this brood pattern here? She's laid most of this out right in here. But what we need for her to do is go to the other frames and start laying on those. But she may feel there's not enough resources coming in for her to lay any more than what she is. And she's done the same on this side. So let's get her back in there. So this time I want to look at the frame next to her and see maybe if she's laid eggs over here. Because I put them right next to her. So this side's totally empty still. Nothing going on there. But this is the side we're interested in. And she's not laying and they're putting nectar in there. So she is content to do what she's doing on her one frame there. So she won't lay on that frame now that it's getting full of nectar there where the prime laying space is. So we may switch these two frames here. Yeah, I think I will. So there's a little bit of brood on this, and I think that's from when we introduced this from another hive, gave them a brood boost. So it was oriented like this. I'm going to switch it around because this is a more conducive to laying frame. You got your honey up in the corners and a little bit of brood still left right in here. Some nurse bees hanging out there. So I'm going to switch these two frames and put this nice laying area right up next to that queen. See what she'll do. We've had some cooler weather and some rain, so there's some flowers blooming, and when it cools off, those queens will start laying a little bit more. Getting ready for that fall flow coming. We've got quite a few new wildflowers out in our field that are blooming now. Got a bee stuck in here. When you smash a bee, they get upset, so we don't want to do that. All right, so those two have been switched. This frame here's got some honey on it, capped. So I'm just going to put this back. You know what I think I'm going to do, because they've got plenty of stored nectar. They're not going to go hungry. And I don't want them putting any more nectar in those open frames. So maybe that queen would be more enticed to lay now on this frame if there's not a bunch of nectar right there that they can just immediately store. So I'm going to pull that jar off for a week. See if that'll help. Because they got plenty of food. Get the lid back on. Really should use some smoke here, but I didn't light my smoker. Just kind of wiggle it and they'll move out of the way without smashing any. Okay, I'm going to put this jar in here, but I'm going to leave it upright so they can't get to it. Block my entrance off with the wood block, my top entrance. Keep intruders out. Uh-oh. Guess what I forgot? Every time, beetle trap. Okay. I think I'm actually going to take this jar and hide it in the old barn so ants won't get to it. If I leave it out here, ants are liable to crawl down in those little holes and not be able to get out. So that's it for Tiny Swarm Tuesday. Not a lot going on. We need that queen to get laying, so get that population up. So if she doesn't start laying, we're probably going to have to give it another brood frame, give them another boost. So might not be a bad idea to do that today, but we'll wait one more week. So we'll catch you all in the next video. Give me a thumbs up if you would, and y'all take care. Bye.